Welcome to Brain Vision.
In this problem on the topic of momentum, impulse, and collisions, we are told that a bat is being used to strike a baseball of a given mass. We have the initial velocity of the ball before the collision, as well as the final velocity of the ball after the collision, and we also know the time that the ball and bat are in contact. We want to find the horizontal and vertical components of the average force that is exerted on the ball. So in this problem, we'll take the positive x-axis to be to the right and the positive y-axis upward. So we can find the x and y components of the impulse as follows. So jx, which is the x component of the impulse exerted on the ball, which is this change in momentum, delta px, is equal to m v2x minus m v1x. So we can write this as the mass of the baseball, 0.145 kg, into minus 65 meters per second times the cosine of 30 degrees, which is the angle to the horizontal, of the final velocity minus the initial velocity of the baseball, which is 50 meters per second. This gives us the change in momentum along the x direction to be minus 15.4 kg meter per second. Now, similarly, we can find the y component of the impulse jy, which is the change in momentum of the baseball in the y direction, m v2y minus m v1y, which again we can write as the mass of the baseball, 0.145 kg, into the initial speed in the y direction, which is 65 meters per second, which times the sine of 30 degrees. Since the initial velocity has no component in the y direction, this is 0. The final velocity's component in the y direction is 65 sine 30. And so calculating, we get the impulse in the y direction to be 4.71 kg meter per second. So the horizontal component is 15.4 kg meter per second to the left, and the vertical component is 4.71 kg meter per second upward. So now we can use this information to find the average force. So the average force exerted on the baseball in the x direction is equal to the impulse in the x direction divided by the time of contact, delta t. This is minus 15.4 kg meter per second divided by the time of contact, which is 1.75 times 10 to the minus 3 seconds. And so calculating, we get this force exerted on the baseball in the x direction to be minus 8,800 newtons, which is 8,800 newtons to the left. Now we can similarly find the average force exerted on the baseball in the y direction, and this is the impulse in the y direction, jy, again divided by delta t. This is 4.71 kg meter per second divided by the change in time, 1.75 times 10 to the minus 3 seconds. So calculating, we get this to be positive 2,690 newtons, which is 2,690 newtons upward. And so we have the x and y components of the average force exerted on the ball by the bat during collision.